where my spirit's thirst is quenched. Hold on to yourself, I'm hearing. Hold on to the best of who you are. It wasn't quite the way I had imagined, yet it's more.
Hello, everybody.
My dream.
This is Barbara Perkins. How are you all today? Happy Monday. Let me know if you're there. While we listen to Brannis McKenzie singing Sisters at the Well. Hi, Deborah. Just getting here. Deborah said I look so serious. Yeah, it's one of those days. Hi, Joe. We're going to listen to Brannis just a little bit and give folks a chance to get in. I came in about 2 minutes early so we can get started. Hi, Annette. How are you? You're on your walk? I need to be doing that. Anyway, so I'm going to give it another 30 seconds or so and let people come in. This is Real Talk with Love. I'm Coach Barbara Perkins and have been coming to you now. This is our 9th week. I'm so happy that we've had this time together. Even through the first couple of weeks, so many technical problems, but we are here and I'm so happy we are. So thank you. Hi, Charlene and BJ. Hey. I love this song, Sisters at the Well. It's about 83 degrees here in Atlanta. Hope you all are having good weather as well. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for coming in. Come on in. I'll start to turn the music down a little bit as we get started. Again, happy Monday to you. I am Barbara Perkins. I'm Coach Barbara. That's what most people call me. And this is Real Talk with Love. And this evening we have, I think, a really good conversation. It's one that was a little difficult in the planning, but I was determined to get through it. And I'm going to take my time, although we're only going to be here maybe 30 minutes. But I'm going to take my time and go through some of what I've been thinking over the last few days, and certainly what I know a lot of folks have been thinking about, because we can't escape this thought. And if not the thought, we certainly can't escape the feelings that we're having in this season. As you know, for those of you who've been here for the last few weeks with me, we changed the format a little bit where I invite folks to ask a question and then I come on and try to answer that question first before we get into tonight's topic, which is perseverance. Well, the question we got was from a young person, and it is, what do you say? I'm reading it. What do you say to a young person who's hurt, feeling misunderstood, and just downright angry? It's a great question, because young people are feeling like the world is coming against them and criticizing them and showing disapproval for what they are trying to express. And so when the question came, in fact, the same question came in two different ways. And when it came at a moment when I was feeling pretty much the same way they were feeling. Frustrated, angry, hurt, frightened, and so many other feelings we were having this week as we watched all of the different things, horrors I call them, all the trauma unfold, some of it right in front of our eyes. And this isn't new trauma. This is the repeat, different faces, different loved ones, but a repeated cycle for far too long. And so I have no judgment on young people and what they're doing. I have no judgment. I saw a post actually on my son's website that said, when does a building, I'm paraphrasing it, when does a building become more important than a life? Take that in. When does a building become more important than a life? I had no answer for that. But what young people are feeling over the course of the weekend and the last few days is that there was more attention being given to the destruction of property than the taking of one's life. And not just anyone. Our black young men and women. And so what I would say to a young person at this time, which is the same thing I've said to both my children, express yourself. I'm so happy you have a voice. Use the voice. And then go beyond that. Have a plan. Use more than your voice. Do what's necessary to get people not just listening, but acting, doing something, changing something. Be safe, be wise, be thoughtful, be strategic, and be safe. Those are the words that I would offer to young people right now. And then for us, those of us who have gone through this not once, not twice, maybe 3 or 4 times in our lifetime, we have had these types of situations where the community just erupted. We have a little more to stand on. I was thinking about how this generation, and this morning on a call, another young sister who I spend time with, she said, you know, my generation, we haven't had a win yet. Everything has been, it seems like every 10 years, every 5 to 10 years, something terrible is happening to our generation. We haven't had a win. We need a win. Boy, that stung. And so again, I would say during this period of time, and actually the question goes to our conversation this evening. It goes to the conversation we're having about perseverance and why that's important. So I'll get into our tonight's topic, but I wanted to answer that question specifically before we started. And then what I'll ask you to do for me, if you wouldn't mind, would you share, stop right now and hit your share button so that you can share our conversation with some other folks who may want to hear what we're talking about. I also would invite you, if you have a question throughout the time we're together, put it in the thread, and hopefully if I can see it, I will try and answer it. Hey, Willa and Tracy. So let's get into tonight's topic. Let's talk about perseverance and why that is so important. This week has been so awkward. It's been heavy for all of us. It's been a very emotional roller coaster of a week for us. We are almost 3 months. I closed my door on March 10th when the first order was given to stay in place, shelter in. We are coming up on 3 months of being sheltered in. Some of us more comfortable than the others. Some of us didn't have the luxury of having space. And then some of us are by ourselves. We're sheltered in. I happen to be here with my husband, so at least there's another person to talk with, to touch even. But some of us have been in total isolation. That's a lot to ask. Our basic needs are in short, limited supply. There's a lot of things that is so different, and we're trying to wrap our minds around it and navigate and get through the day. COVID-19, we don't know where it is. We don't know where the virus is. I said this morning on a call, I said it could be under the bed. It could be, Amazon could be bringing it to the house. The mail carrier can be bringing it to the house. Our 1 day a week that we go to the grocery store, we can touch it. We don't know where it is. That's a lot to navigate. That's a lot of stress and anxiety and uncertainty. So we're going through that. We're moving through that. We passed 2 months. We're looking forward to maybe the end. Don't know when it's going to be, but we're still trying to be hopeful. And then, with all of that, the economic impact to our lives, jobs, can't touch our families. Then we read that the majority of cases, people who are dying from this disease, happen to look like us. They're African Americans. When we first read it, it was like, my God, we can't catch a break. With all the other disparities that are going on, every ill you can think of, there's a disproportionate number of black folks suffering from it. And you're right, Tracy, it's exhausting. It's exhausting. And we hold on. And we continue to try and live above the stress level. And we've tried to make our lives somewhat new in the normal space. So what's new for me now is to Zoom a call, FaceTime my sister, FaceTime my children, blow kisses across the street, drive by someone's home when there's a special celebration going on. No coming out, no touching. Seeing the babies and can't hug them and touch them. This is what we're trying to wrap our minds around. So we're hopeful because we have a sense that we're going to get through it because that's who we are. So we have the unknown virus. We're sheltered in. We take a hit economically. We certainly take a hit emotionally. Then we find that African Americans are dying at an alarming rate, and the hospitals are literally sending us home until we're so sick that our chances of survival is slim to none. And then we turn on the TV and we get the news about a 26-year-old taking a jog and who is gunned down. And for weeks and weeks and weeks, nothing is done. And so now we're trying to make space in our heads, right? Because our hearts can't take it. So we're trying to protect our hearts, and we're making space in our heads to see if there's something we can do to keep us from tipping over. And before we can even get to the end of that, we hear of this woman who makes a call to 911 to say her life and her dog is being threatened by an African American male who was simply trying to get her to obey the law. He's out watching birds. He's out just having a moment to himself. And without any knowledge of what's ahead of him, he says, put your dog on a leash. That's what the sign says. And then this person takes her color, her skin color, and uses it as a weapon against him. That could have turned out really, really bad. It's bad enough that we saw it. And then here we are with yet another black man killed deliberately, intentionally, in a way that it did more than break our hearts. It literally traumatized us. It almost put us in a state of numbness, at a point where being able to describe how we feel becomes difficult when our words begin to fade away. This is what we've gone through in 1 week. In 10 weeks, a string of these traumatic experiences, right? Living with us almost. And so the question tonight is, why should we persevere? Why isn't eruption an option? Because that's on the other side of perseverance. Perseverance is when we hold on in spite of how difficult it is. It's when we hold on. We hold on to what? We hold on to our hope. We hold on to the truth that we know is in play. We hold on to our belief that we can make a difference. Regardless how difficult it is, we can make a difference. And the we includes the young people who are courageous, powerful. Most importantly, they're willing. They're moving across this country. They're standing up. They're saying, enough is enough. Enough is enough. We can't breathe. And I know personally I've been gasping for breath the last few days. But it's so important for us in this moment, when it looks like there's nothing else to do. It's so important for us to hold on, regardless of how difficult it is. We're dealing with a lot. But our foremothers and our grandmothers, now I know firsthand what they meant when they would just sit and moan. And just with no words, you understood what they were saying. When they would just shake their heads and moan. The black woman has had to carry grief that is not to be compared with anything else. Those of us who are mothers and grandmothers and aunties and sisters and daughters, we've had to carry so much on our backs. And the grief can be described as back-breaking grief. But what I know for sure is we're resilient and we're strong, and that our community still needs us. And yes, Charlene, we're the rock. What I know for sure is that there are steps towards perseverance that we do every day, and maybe we don't identify them and talk about them. But there are things that we do every day that shores us up, that replenishes us. The first thing towards how you persevere, for those who may just need a little something, a little help, a little support from your sister. The first thing is gratitude. Gratitude, when you begin to allow gratitude to overtake you, when you can think about the things that you are so grateful for, the breath that you're breathing, the fact that you are healthy, that you did not tip over, and that you are still in your right mind. Gratitude that you woke up this morning and that you can still find a way, that you're on this thread, and that together we can process some steps. What can we do? How do we begin to identify this thing that we feel that is swelling up in our bodies? Try gratitude. That you are even able to bring forth the communication that says, this is how I'm feeling. Gratitude that you have the courage to own those feelings, to say, I'm scared. I am angry. Because once you begin to get those feelings out, you make space for restoration to happen within. I am scared. I am angry. I said to someone the other day, I'm really pissed off. Because if one more thing, and I don't know if I can handle it. Angry. I feel a little guilty even, because maybe there's some conversations I wish I would have had with some people. And now it might be too late. Not sure, but I'm trying now. There's some conversations I want to have with some young people. I'm not judging them. That's not what I'm doing. But I do want to have a conversation with them and talk about why we need each other, why intergenerationally we have to start talking and telling our stories and not trying to hide our past from them. Let them know that we had to face some of this too. So one of the ways towards filling ourselves up is standing in a space of gratitude. The next thing is guidance. So what do I do when you are unsure? To be still enough to ask for help. Gratitude to a God who we know is not asleep. And for those of you who may believe differently, your higher power, however you identify with that, I happen to identify with God. So for me, it's gratitude to God that I'm here today and it's not too late. I can do something today. And then the same God is where I go and ask for guidance. What should I do? Seeking knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is not enough. The fact that I know the history, that we've seen this before, the fact that I'm smart, the fact that I might have friends who are in places who can make some changes, that's not enough. Knowledge and wisdom, because wisdom is how I decide to use the knowledge. You need both. So asking God for not just the knowledge, but the wisdom and the strength. Then these are my 4 G's, by the way. Gratitude, guidance, and now gifts. What can I do? What can you do? What can you do, Javonda? Every day you're at work and you're seeing people come through and through. What can you do? What can you say? What's your gift? What is your expertise? What is your talent? What is your offering to the history that's being unfolded right now? Is your offering to sit? And you know, today was the first day for me that I deleted somebody. I couldn't delete them, so I blocked them from my Facebook page. because I don't have time. I don't have time for nonsense. And someone put something crazy on my Facebook page. Guess what I did? Block them. I got to figure out how to delete. Somebody's going to show me how to do that. I'm not having conversations with people who are just stuck on judgment. I'm not judging these young people for doing what they're doing. They're trying to be heard. They're out there staring guns down in the face on behalf of the rights of black people. That's what they're doing. So for me, I'm asking God, what's my gift? What can I do? Coming on, having these conversations with you it feels good, and I hope this is a conversation, although it's in this format. But what can each of us do? What is your talent? Who can you call? Someone sent me an idea this morning, and I think it's absolutely amazing. I am going to, and I don't, for those who know me, you know, I don't talk a whole lot of politics, especially in the public space like this, but I will tell you for sure, there are some people that I want to see out of office. And I am going to have a few friends, so maybe even some of you I will call on and say, can we pool some money together so that we can send some money to the person who's running against some of these fools, because they got to get out. That's what I know I can do. If you are not offering something that can change and make life better for more than just you, I will ask you to sit and consider taking some kind of action. Something you can offer, a kind word. Certainly, we want to pray and cover these young people. Hi, Cody. My son's on today. Cody and Willa. So again, I'm talking about my 4 G's. Gratitude. Staying in a place of gratitude. Asking God for guidance, wisdom, strength, and courage. And then deploying your gifts and your talents. Your what can you do? Putting that in the space. Don't just be tempted to sit on social media and criticize what you see in the news, because perhaps what you see in the news is really not real. Perhaps. And then the 4th G is God. I can't even imagine not losing my mind if I didn't have a spiritual practice. If I didn't believe that there is something much bigger than my eyes can see or I can understand that is in play. And so what I know for sure is that prayer works. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm covering these young people in prayer. I'm covering them every day. Those who will go out tonight, that they are protected and that they are safe and that they are wise. We're lifting them. And I'm lifting you in prayer. Those of us who are in our homes, I'm looking for a way to support and help. I stand with you as you seek your way of being helpful, as you seek your way of being strengthened and restored, and that you persevere, and that your hope is restored, and that your faith is stronger than ever before. I'm standing with you. I'm praying with you. And I ask for the same for me. Because collectively, I know that our prayers are stronger. This is a tough time. And it appears to be the roughest time we've ever seen in our lives. But I can tell you for sure there are some things that are going on and have gone on before that's even more difficult than this. You know, even more difficult than this. In the days ahead, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how it's going to end. But I know that we have to be strengthened and restored so that we can get out here and support and help. Because this history that's being written right now, I want this history to show that I was present. How about you? I wanted to show that I was present, that I did something that helped another mother get through a tough day. And it's not just, we're going to be angry. We're going to be filled with different things, emotions. That's going to happen. It's just not staying there. We can't allow it. We are the rocks of our community. We have been the backbones of our communities. This is no time to opt out. This is our time to even be stronger than ever before. Get yourself a spiritual practice if you don't have one. Get a buddy, get a friend that you can call every day, and make sure you talk about something positive. Right? Get out and get some fresh air. Garden if you can. Put on some good music if you can. Watch some mindless TV from time to time. But you have to find a way to release some of the feelings. Don't allow them to stay stuck in your cells, stuck in your body. Right? Get the feelings out so that then what's filling up your space, your internal space, is your faith and your hope and your knowing that we are going to get on the other side of this. And we will do that because we are resilient and we know the importance of perseverance. Thank you so much. I'm glad you were here tonight. Carolyn, I see you. You're right. Opt in. Let me know if you're opting in. Just send me a little message now that you're opting in. What are you doing? What's your gift? What's your offering? I've shared some of mine, and I'm sure I'll share some more when I see you again next Monday. Thanks for being here. Again, this is Real Talk with Love. I'm Coach Barbara A. Perkins, and it's been my pleasure and my joy to have you in the space with me this evening. Thank you, and good night. Bye-bye now. Thank you again.
I never knew there was a place to go where my spirit's thirst is quenched.